Hey guys, Bluebear Crypto back with another video. Today we're looking at the JingleMiner BTC Solo Lite miner, which is a lottery miner that you might have seen on the channel previously. Basically, I'm going to do a real world usage review. It's great and all opening a package, getting it up and running, but nothing beats actual real world usage, and that's what we're looking at today. So this thing has been up and running for 3 months now. And how did it get on? Let's get into it. I've tested a lot of miners recently, ranging from the Bitaxes to the Avalon Nano 3 and a few things in between. But this little unit from JingleMiner did actually surprise me when they sent it over. Not necessarily because it was going to hit any blocks, but let's be real. The majority of these miners realistically aren't going to be hitting a block, but because of how it performed compared to what the manufacturer was actually claiming. Let's start with what makes the JingleMiner BTC Solo Lite different to the rest. Most lottery miners that you see nowadays, like the Bitaxe series, are basically just a motherboard with a fan strapped to it, and then that's the lottery miner. Functional? Yeah. Pretty? Nah, not really. What JingleMiner have done here is put it in an actual enclosure, which is metal, and it's solid, giving it a nice clean, compact design, basically like an actual consumer device. And this is nice for people that want to have something that looks like an actual finished product, rather than something that's just like a development board. This, to me, puts it ahead a little bit in terms of just looks. In the last 3 months, I've ran this miner along with other lottery miner devices. And what I've noticed is it's really stable. It's not had any issues, and you can overclock it. It will not overheat. No weird hash drops, no firmware glitches. It's all been sweet. It doesn't really run too hot. You can set the maximum temperature that it will shut down at, which is nice compared to the Bitaxes where it's usually about 75, 80 degrees. It doesn't even touch those temperatures when you overclock it to its maximum. A lot of the hobby boards are a bit fragile and they do like to overheat, but this is like a completed product. So here is the part that actually changed my opinion of this miner completely. I bought a new, more accurate watt meter recently, and after testing all my miners again, the JingleMiner BTC Solo Lite came out on top, being the closest to its advertised specs. If we're being real, all of these types of devices roughly hash around a similar amount. So efficiency is really the most important thing here. How much hash rate you can pull and how efficient it is. If you've got one device that has a higher hash rate but it uses loads more power, then it's probably better to get the one which has a lower hash rate but is a lot more efficient. It actually performs as stated, which is actually rare in this space. It consistently hits the hash rate that JingleMiner advertises that it can do, without huge fluctuations or misleading peaks. Even more impressive, thanks to this new watt meter, which is a little bit more accurate than my old one, the wattage draw lines up basically exactly as stated on the website. This device pulls about 23.3 watts at default settings, which it's 23 watts on the website. So I would say that's pretty good going compared to other devices and their power draw. Now, let's be honest, this isn't a profitability product. You're not buying this to make money mining Bitcoin. You're buying it to enjoy the hobby, check it out, see what's involved, and learn a bit more about Bitcoin. So, who is this actually for? To me, I would say it's for the enthusiasts who want a well-designed lottery miner. It's good for people that want to enter the space, learn about Bitcoin, learn about how Bitcoin mining works, but without the noise and the heat and the 3 kilowatt power draw. It's a pretty nice addition for the collectors who like to get at least one of each type of miner. But mostly I would say it's pretty good if you want a miner that actually hits the specs that is advertised on the website. I seem to be finding a lot of websites advertise a hash rate which is quite high, but then the wattage stated that a device will pull is usually a lot lower on the website than in real life. So if you want something that looks clean, runs reliably, and matches the specs that you're paying for, out of the miners I've tested, this is a good choice. So after 3 months, what is my verdict? I'm actually really happy with the JingleMiner BTC Solo Lite, but I feel like that name is a little bit long. The design is solid, the stats are honest, it performs as advertised, and it's been one of the easiest miners to live with. It's probably not going to hit you a block, but it is one of the most consistent miners out of the bunch I've got. For hobbyists and people dipping their toes into Bitcoin mining, I'd say this one's a good recommendation, especially with Christmas around the corner. If you've got any mates who are talking about Bitcoin a little bit, but they just need that little push to find out what it's really all about. So as of right now, we are currently running at just under 1.3 terahash. What I will say about this miner when you get it, compared to other things like Bitaxes and NerdQaxes, things like that, their hash rate is like a 60-second average. So the hash rate just goes from 0 to its normal amount very quickly. The display hash rate on here is actually a 10-minute average. So if you do get one and you find that it's taking absolutely ages to hit its hash rate, just give it a little bit of time. It's not slow or anything. There's no real problems. It's just got that 10-minute average on display. My best block difficulty with this miner is currently 6.9 G, which is actually the highest out of all of my miners. So we've got 6.9 here, and this is advertised at about 1.1, 1.2 terahash. The Bitaxe Gamma 601, which is basically the same thing. The best difficulty on that is 3.42. So, and the NerdQX++, granted it's not been running for as long. The best difficulty is 3.3 G. So it's not hit a block, but it has actually hit the best difficulty out of the bunch. If you enjoyed this review, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment on which miner I should test next. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.